Hi, welcome to Walking Wilder. I'm Bark. Um, the first message I got here is to hear with your heart. That was the first card that came out. So there's this need for you to soften, is my feeling with it. To not be quite as rigid as you might have been. Now, this can be with yourself or it can be with another person. Um, but whatever the case is here, there's a need for you to be kinder and more fair, I hear. We'll see if we can get more information about what that is. Queen of Swords is at the bottom here, and the Two of Cups um, is underneath that. So this could be a soul bond connection, or it can be you with you. Um, let's see what what comes out here. Um, there's a hidden treasure, and this says you're on the right track and gifts to be revealed. This to me, you see how it's kind of like she's connecting to spirit here, to her higher self. And again, this can be you actually listening to what your higher self is trying to tell you. Um, the last card that I pulled now is the road is clear. You know what to do. Walk it your way. So whatever this is, you already kind of know. It's not like it's going to be, which, is always what a reading should be about anyway, to confirm your own intuition. But there's this need to walk with love. See all um, the pink energy here, which to me, is higher heart chakra. Um, so absolutely a need for you to be kinder, whether it's to yourself or it's to the energy of a connection. Um, take whatever resonates with you here. We'll see what we can get. All right, Spirit, talk to me about the challenges for the viewer here. Why is this a challenge? There's the Queen of Swords again. Oh, Five of Wands at the bottom here. So this Queen of Swords, she's very independent. She's very no BS. I call it like it is. Which, is an energy I resonate with quite a bit. But sometimes, those of us who kind of, resonates with this can also be maybe a little too harsh with ourselves, especially, but also sometimes with other people and their energy. Um, Independence, is the key word they put on this card. And um, while that's a really good thing, sometimes it can also stem from, childhood wounds of feeling like you didn't get the help you needed, that type of thing. So you kind of compensate for it for yourself. That's for someone watching this. It's not necessarily everybody's story, but there is this sense here of being again softer, kinder um, in your expression. Yeah. All right. Ten of Pentacles. This is abundance. This is feeling whole. This is having all the resources that you feel you need to do whatever it is you are, doing here. With the hidden treasure card, you might be revealing new possibilities. Things might pop up that, um, is going to assist you on whatever road it is you're walking here. But there might be a sense of not really trusting this. This is in the challenging position. So it, for some of you, you're kind of like, well, I'm just going to have to do all of this by myself. And, it might not be what you actually say out there in the world, but I feel kind of like it's an underlying sense of not really feeling supported. Um, Here's the Five of Wands here at the bottom of the deck, which is either like in your subconscious or something that's kind of taking place behind the scenes that you might not really be recognizing. Underneath that, though, is the Ace of Cups. So it is kind of, to me, this is like, here I feel it like the feeling of not being supportive, but the support is actually there. Whether this is from your higher self, the spirit world, or actual, energies around you, people around you, or not. But it's like there's this inner, well, discussion or whatever. Here's the Hierophant, which can have to do with spirituality or tradition or religion in some cases. Some of you might feel sort of stuck in other people's point of view. You might have grown up with a somewhat rigid way of viewing the world that doesn't resonate with you. Um, Something like that. Here's the Temperance. Finding balance in what is my story, what is my, what did I grow up with, and what do I actually feel called to follow. Um, for some of you, you might have a parent's voice in your head whenever you feel like, okay, I'm going to walk this path that I feel called to. Then there's someone in your head. Well, I mean, you know, the, it triggers something in you of someone being judgmental, not being very kind, not being, um, not seeing you for who you are, and appreciating that. Um, the Hear with Your Heart energy in that, it's also number 19, so a 1 and a 9, so a beginning and a completion. Um, there's something about learning to see something that you have with you in your childhood with more kindness. And that's not to say if somebody, really were just not nice, or didn't give you what you needed, or, that type of thing. Um, there's a there's an invitation here to see it from a higher perspective, to see that this person, came with their story, with their um, limited capability, to see you, uh, to see all of you. That's not to say, that you need to, um, that that they should be giving a free pass for just whatever it was. But it's kind of like this feeling of, it's time for you to let that go. Whatever it was, it's time to let it go, because what's done, it's done. You can't, you've got other things to do, basically. Um, so something about seeing the truth of that. Can you tell me a little bit more here, Spirit? The Tower. Why is the Tower here? Ten of Wands. Burdens here at the bottom, but also completion. That something is ready to be put down. This is the end of the burden. It can't get any heavier than that. Yeah. Two of Wands here. The Empress. Here's the Two of Swords, which is about decisions, but it's also about blocking things that we really are kind of like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. I'm kind of getting that feeling like there's something here that, again, it's a hidden treasure, something that you need to see, which will give you a gift in the form of a better understanding of whatever this situation was, and will lead you to view yourself and perhaps someone else, from a more healed perspective. But you're kind of blocking that. I really strongly get this energy of, no flipping way am I going to, whatever it is for you. But here's the Seven of Pentacles. This you've been working on this for a while, and it's kind of like um, there's this energy of, am I going to? I'm actually seeing a road here and a person standing on one side, kind of like putting a leg out to, putting your toes across it, like, should I take this step? Should I let this go? Should I take this step? Should I let this go? And it's kind of like this inner conflict with yourself. Can I leave this behind? You know, is it, for some reason I'm hearing, is it safe to leave this behind? Um, what is that, Spirit? For once, yeah, this, okay, for once, and the Judgment card here. There's something here, um, again, about being judged by someone else, but also about, if I leave, if I judge this other energy, which I feel it is for most of you, a parent, or, someone that's the soul bond connection, which, is um, a lot of different people can be, but I think this is a childhood thing. If I choose my own stability and, turn my back on whoever this is, um, there's something there about that being difficult. Obviously, that is a difficult thing to do. But here's the Empress energy. It is you wanting to level up somehow here and kind of be like, all right, this road is clear for me now. What is holding the viewer back from this road, Spirit? What is this? What is holding the viewer back? All right. Here's the Devil, which, can be anger, frustration, jealousy, all of these feelings that we call negative, but all feelings have some sort of value, and there's a reason why you're feeling them. I don't think this is necessarily you. This feels more to me like it's, an outside, or the other energy in this whole thing here. And see how now we have them on each side of the table. You over here blocking whatever, this is. Tell me more about this. Why is the Devil card here? Change. Two of Pentacles. There's a balance energy in this card too. See, the light and the dark, the inner, the outer, our own shadows. For some of you, this is, this is triggering having to, well, I don't know that you have to, but wanting to make this decision to walk another path, to, go in a different direction, is really triggering someone else's judgmental voice in your head, if that makes sense. Yeah, there's something about that. Here's the Queen of Cups. So for most of you, this is you being triggered by either memories or something that someone's saying about this new path that you want to take. Or maybe it's not so new, but this path that you want to walk in. Now, the main message was to hear with your heart. So, Spirit, what is that about? Why is that important? Queen of Wands, that's the success. There's a reason why that's important. If you want to be successful in this, you need to become more compassionate towards yourself and perhaps towards whatever energy this is from your childhood, or in some cases maybe a previous life. But for most of you, I feel like this is childhood wounding. This is a parent in your head going like, oh, you can't do that, and that's not, and we don't do that way, or that's evil, or that's blah, blah, blah. But it's someone else's voice in your head. This is not you. Um, Talk to me about the Six of Wands. Oh, that was a lot. Justice. Yeah. For you to be successful here, for you to be able to walk the path that you came here to walk, that you want to walk, um, you have to view this from a healed place. You have to realize that whatever this is, it's that way because they came with whatever wounding they came with, and that was part of their karma. This, it's not. This to me is the knowing that the important thing here is for you to be in this kindness energy and let it go and know that whatever needs to happen will happen. It's not your job to fix it, kind of. You need to protect you. Five of Cups. This has been a painful thing for most of you. Oh, there was the wire. Here's the Strength card. Yeah, Eight of Swords. Nine, Eight of Cups. I don't know where the Eight of Swords came from, which, is this stressful thing, being in your head type of thing. But this is calling for you to leave behind. Here's the Nine of Swords. To leave behind all the stress, the anxiety, the hurt, the pain of whatever this is, and kind of realize that whatever it was for you, it is no more. It's the past. You have the capability now of being in this Page of Swords energy, of looking at yourself with new eyes, and looking at the whole situation with new eyes, of kind of seeing things more clearly from an adult healed point of view, with the understanding that everybody comes with, their stuff, their story, their whatever it is. Here's the Ten of Swords. That's the end of a cycle. If you can learn, and I know this is not easy, but if you can remind yourself to hear with your heart, to kind of send loving energy towards whatever all of this was. It doesn't mean you have to interact with a person if you're like, no flipping way, they are just, but stepping up above it and seeing it from a higher perspective, and just be like, all right, that is done. They came with the karma they came with. I'm here now. I have the option, and they did too. We can all decide to heal, and maybe they couldn't, maybe they weren't strong enough, maybe it just didn't occur to them, maybe whatever. But the point is, for you to be victorious, you need to be kinder to yourself. And perhaps here there's talking about being kinder to yourself and not repeating everything that came out of their mouth, of not, kind of continuing the trauma by telling stories that are really not your view on yourself, but is something that came from this person. And again, this is a soul bond connection. This is a really close connection, probably a parent or someone else very close to you. With the Two of Cups that came up in the beginning. Here's the Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck here. Can we get some advice here, Spirit? Yeah, the Lovers. Again, balance, becoming more in balance with yourself, letting go of, this past energy that you can't. There's a need to accept that whatever this is or was, you can't change what it was. The only thing you can change is your situation now. Listen to yourself, give yourself the care and attention that you need to heal your own energy, heal the unbalance in yourself by becoming softer, by listening to what do I actually need, by actively blocking that voice from your energy and speaking to yourself from a kinder point of view. That's not easy. I'm not saying that at all. And you can hear my voice is, this is, whenever my voice cracks up like that, it's a very clear sign to me that for someone, doing that is extremely difficult. So I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying that's what the message is here. That the more you can be in this energy of hearing with your heart, also the thoughts in your own head, and being like, hey, I need to be kinder to myself. I need to listen with love, listen with compassion, and take better care of myself, of my inner world here. Yeah, the sun. A warmer, more loving energy. And that will open up, for hidden treasures. I'll move this so you can. That will open up for new gifts, new, perhaps new psychic abilities, new creative abilities, new ways of being in the world. And it will help you on this path. Yeah, here's the magician creating this new beginning. And see, 5 of Swords, 7 of Wands. It takes a lot of energy to always be in this energy of not fighting, but in this energy of feeling like I always have to defend my boundaries. That takes a lot of energy. But see, here's the Ace of Wands. There is a possibility here to just basically put down your weapons, I hear, in the sense that it's you did basically. Oh, how do I explain this? What is this, Spirit? Yeah, Page of Cups. And see how the communication is really difficult here. My voice keeps cracking up. But there's an opportunity here to basically decide to lead from love, to basically disconnect. And again, I know it's much easier for me to sit here and say it than it is to actually practice this. But with the Strength card down here, you do have the opportunity to do this, to basically disconnect from this battle inside your head, or in some cases, it's still going on in your life if that person is still in your life, and be more loving, more kind towards yourself, perhaps towards the other person as well, but definitely towards yourself. Fill up your own cup here. And only accept, I hear, the stories that resonates with you, and leave the rest. Which, is always basically the lesson for us. Leave behind what's not yours. We have such a tendency to carry things that are not ours to carry. Yeah, here's the Fool card, a new beginning, where you leave, that 10 of Wands that's somewhere underneath all of that, for a more loving approach to life and to your path. There's, and there's something about accepting that no matter how much you try, the only thing you can do, here's the Magician, is to create your new path. You cannot make people see things your way. Sometimes they'll change over time. Sometimes when your energy changes and becomes more loving, theirs will too, but that's not a guarantee. The only thing you can control here is you. And there's something in that, in learning to let go of needing the story to change, because in all reality the story cannot change. What happened when you were a kid already happened. You can change your response to it now, but you can't go back and change whatever it was. There's something in that. Is there anything else here, Spirit? Yeah, 3 of Cups. This is to me moving on with happier connections, finding your soul tribe, finding people who resonates with the path you want to walk on, and spend your energy there. Again, it's not necessarily, you know, a case where you totally leave that energy behind if they are still here and never speak to them again. Some of you might, but it's more of, I purposely change my focus towards where my happiness is, towards people that brings me joy, towards, you know, new relationships, new ways of being in the world, celebrating myself, celebrating my progress, celebrating, the new gifts coming in. It's an active decision to be your own best friend and to actively go in search of people who support that path. Is there anything else here, Spirit? Yeah, transformation here. And it's, that old story, when your energy changes, it will automatically change something over here. Again, it's not, it's not a guarantee that something is going to radically change. You can never guarantee that. But, you can change you. And that's huge. Absolutely huge. Talk to me more about the transformation card. Eight of Pentacles. Working hard on something. Here's the page. No, the Knight of Cups. See how calm this energy is. This is about allowing you to be in a new space that's not ruled by this. Allowing yourself to be in a space where there's balance. See here how balance there is. And I know, in the original said it kind of has a different energy. But in this, it's like there's balance here. I'm sitting here with this, being at peace. Whatever, is going on around me doesn't really affect my inner state. Here's the King of Pentacles. Your personal power. See how he holds the pentacle, which in this deck is like earth. He is grounded, he is stable, and he's very much in his own energy, not really letting outside things determine what path am I going to walk, what am I going to create, what am I here to do, but very solid in this way of being who he is. Seven of Wands. Nine of Wands. Resilient. Yeah, you got through this. You've been through a lot, but you got through it. Some of you are still walking, but you're on your way, to this, which is your path. And most of us, who walk a specific path, well, we all do, I guess, in some way, but it's taken a lot to get there. There's a lot of lessons. There's a lot of heartache, a lot of struggle to get to that point where you're like, all right, I'm going in the direction of this because this is what's calling me. It takes a lot of strength to get to that. But that's where you're walking. And the gifts are coming in, the hidden treasures from all that you have been through are going to show up once you walk this road. All right, let's see here. I think we'll take one of these. I hope this makes sense, guys. If it resonates with you, please press like. Write me a comment if you feel called. Subscribe to the channel if you resonate with my readings. If not, then of course don't do that. But that really does help other people see the readings, which of course is the whole point. The more people that can kind of get a message to move in the direction that is right for them, the better world we can create. So, is there a message here, a final message, Spirit, for this? And when you interact with the channel, it also helps me pick up on your energy in another reading, if you feel called to come back and watch something else. So I think we'll take the top one. Yeah. Yeah. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. Exactly. So this working on hearing with your heart and being kinder to yourself, to others around you, is going to soften the world around you. That doesn't mean, all hostility is going to disappear, or people are going to wake up one morning and be, kind and loving and whatever else if they never were. But it will give you a sense of inner peace and a sense of letting them be who they are, because you're focused on being who you came here to be. I hope that makes sense. So, not easy, I know. But every step you walk on this path, you heal a little bit. Every breath you take, you heal a little bit. So, happy walking. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys very, very much. Big love.